Hi, this is Dr. Kerry Johnson. Here we are again, one of our weekly chats, encouraging you to do the same things that are working right now. Let me say from the outset that I'm really, really proud of you. You've done a super job talking to your clients. You've done an amazing job re-engaging prospects. You're getting wonderful results. And I never thought that a team of people would react and get good at these phone calls as quick as you. I'm really impressed. A couple of reminders. Number one, make at least 5 RPCs every single day. Number two, discuss 3 talking points, market update talking points during every phone call. Not 4, not 2, make sure they're 3. You need to be educated and an expert on the things you're talking about. Now, you probably don't have the time to read 3 or 4 hours a day, but these talking points are the best survey or the best information that we have right now about what has happened or what may happen. And here's the rule. 38% of your qualified contacts, RPCs, are going to book appointments with you. You're doing a super job, but aim for that number. 38% of these people will book appointments with you. Okay, so here are a couple of talking points this week. Number one. There will be a 10% long-term unemployment. This is amazing to me. Up until February, we had a 3.6% unemployment, the lowest we've had in 50 years. Every job classification had more people working than ever before in our lifetimes, for that matter. Currently, there are 34 million people unemployed. There's a 24% unemployment rate. Now, I got a little pushback from some of you that said, when I said 30% unemployment, you said, oh, that's not going to happen. That can't happen. What are you talking about? We're there. Why? Because there's a 5% unemployment undercount. These are the people who don't file for unemployment. They leave the workforce. They're tired of this. Maybe they're going to live in a cabin next to a lake and they're going to live off the grid. I don't know. But about 5% of these people are not counted. So we're right there now at 29%, 30% unemployment. Next, 70% of businesses will not be hiring back until after January 2021. This is remarkable. So most of the states are in a limited or a partial shutdown currently. They're going to open back up slowly, 25% here, masks, gloves here, there. They're not going to bring their people back. It's not going to be for a while. And my best guess is we'll start to see something happen in January. My wife works for American Airlines, one of the hardest hit industries within the COVID-19 realm. She's a flight attendant with 35 years of experience. She's in the top 20% of all the flight attendants. She will not get furloughed. She will not get laid off. But American Airlines alone is likely to furlough 20,000 people. Delta a little bit less, United a little bit less. 100,000 flight attendants are going to lose their jobs. And we're not even talking about the pilots, the maintenance people. It's going to be a much smaller airline. They are not going to bring people back in October. I watched a video with Doug Parker, the president of American Airlines today. He said there's going to be no layoffs, no furloughs until October. Why? Because the CARES Act gave the airlines $52 billion to keep their employees there until October. October comes, they're going to lay these people off. Point number 2, the Fed is propping up the stock market. Let me say that one more time. The Fed is propping up the stock market. How do I know this? Because there's $4 trillion being injected within businesses. The Fed is doing quantitative easing. They're buying bonds back. And if you look at the alternatives, where would you put your money? Well, you could put your money within banks. Banks are paying 0.25. Banks are borrowing money from the Fed at 0.25% interest, 25 basis points. If you really want to keep your money safe as it can get, by the way, you're going to buy a 10-year Treasury bond, which is called the risk-free bond. Everything's measured against this. That only pays you 64 cents on 0.64%, 64 basis points. So all this investment money is being pushed into equities. What happens when the Fed decides that they can't put money in there anymore? The government, the Congress doesn't allocate money anymore. The market goes straight down. This is a wonderful time to have an educated conversation with your clients and let them know that when the Fed stops putting money in the market will collapse. And I've said this about 5 or 6 different times. It's probably going to come in the fall, if not before. So have this conversation with your clients, and this is a wonderful time now to have them go into safety. Number 3, phase 4 will be long-term. Right now, the government's talking about infrastructure spending. This is where you build roads and bridges. This is not going to help anything over the next 6 months. It will help the economy after January when more people are put to work. It'll be very inflationary because trillions of dollars will be put into this. But that's exactly what happened in 1932 to 1940 when FDR Roosevelt put these massive amounts of people to work building bridges, mines, railroads, et cetera, et cetera. The way the U.S. government is planning on doing this is to hire 200,000 contract tracers. So after every state opens up, they're going to look at people who are sick, go look at who they talk to, this network approach. So they're going to hire 200,000 people to contact trace to make sure that they can isolate the people who are sick right now. So these are the 3 points. Number 1, 10% long-term unemployment, up from 3.6%. Shocking. It's amazing. Number 2, the Fed is propping up the stock market. When the Fed stops propping it up, you're going to see the market go down, I think, dramatically. And number 3, phase 4 will be long-term. It's not going to happen over the next couple months. It's not even really going to happen in Q1 of 2021. I think it's going to be longer than that. So use these talking points, have a conversation with your clients, ask how they feel, and don't forget, go right to the 5-step bridge. Lead them down to being realistic with their money, and always ask, my concern is this, what's your plan to protect yourself? Does that concern you? If you do that, 38% of these RPCs are going to book appointments with you. So have a wonderful week, and we'll chat next time.